It's a rematch of one of the great NFL playoff games of all time. The Chargers and Dolphins underway from Miami. And no run back on this one, so the new season will begin at the 25-yard line. They started on the ground with Eckler. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That's a start they can live with. 15 yards on their first play from scrimmage.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. First down, and they stick with Eckler. Tackled on the play by Tariq Castro-Fields.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. It's Eckler again. And that's going to be good for a Chargers first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted. The running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 45-yard line. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, that kind of hit will certainly fire up your team both on the field and on the sideline. Tackles for lost yardage, they're always welcome.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. They'll try the air now with Herbert. That's complete to Austin Eckler, the running back. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 34-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw here, Herbert. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. This is shaping up to be a really nice-looking drive to get the season underway here.
And how long do you think that they actually have been plotting this drive? I'm talking about the coaching staff, right? They've been thinking about this for a while now, and I think they're executing it even better than what they expected.
They go back to the ground now with Eckler. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 41 yards rushing for him now. What a drive for him to kick off the new season. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
A first red zone opportunity the new year here as they come up now 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Jerick McKinnon. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. This is a counter play. Eckler. And he fights his way in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Chargers are on the board here first in the season opener. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. And picked up by the Chargers. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. Running on first down, Eckler. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Once more, here's Eckler. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating him up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
They'll look to pick it up with McKinnon. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Straight ahead they go with McKinnon. And he stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Herbert. This is caught. Touchdown, Chargers. Gerald Everett, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Chargers have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A play fake, now Fields to throw. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A very solid gain of 27.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
And he's got some space here. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Raheem Mostert, 39 yards. And the Dolphins are back within a score. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll make our score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And they'll start at the 25 as McKinnon decides against returning it. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, and right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence, because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Herbert off of play action. He's got this to Williams, complete. Touchdown! Mike Williams, 59 yards. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
A pretty wild first quarter, 21-7, our score. Maher now to kick this one away. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better...
There he goes, right side. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Raheem Mostert, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Jerick McKinnon to take it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Charger drive about to get going. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Herbert now. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert.
And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7.
126 yards rushing for him in his first half as he is looking in mid-season form here in the opener.
Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
Here's Mostert.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal.
That's good, hard running right there on 1st and goal. That gets them down to the 2 and puts a lot more pressure on that defense.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Mostert. Oh, he's going absolutely nowhere as he is hit behind the line.
The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
A big play if you think about it right now in this season opener. It's 3rd and goal. Back to throw. Fields. Pass to the right. There's Jones.
So nothing doing there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game, and then make it a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing the coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Charger drive about to get going.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way because after you throw an interception, You want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here. A long way to go. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Eckler now between the tackles. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Here's Herbert. Over the middle, and it's caught. Keenan Allen. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. And that one complete to his receiver, Palmer.
Complete to Josh Palmer. 4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at their 49-yard line.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Out to the right, here's McKinnon. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down moment.
Sometimes in the run game, you can make the argument the quickness beats size. How about the example right here?
We'll come to the line here, needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Good by Tarvarius Moore. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
Here's a handoff to Mostert running left. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 143 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Once again, it's Mostert. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. A handoff running left is Mostert. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. That good for 19 and a first down. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along.
To throw is Fields. Caught on a slant. Touchdown, Dolphins. Tyreek Hill. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Dolphins will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
gives him a 3-point lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Out of the end zone comes McKinnon. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Charger drive about to get going. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now it's Herbert. Flusher. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney.
But that's what they have to do more defensively. Not just getting sacks, but have to keep getting in his face. Not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in the second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Running the counter with Mostert. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Fields to throw on 3rd and 1. And going deep for Hill. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown. Tyreek Hill. Already his 2nd touchdown here this opening weekend. And they're able to add on to their advantage. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. After the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And they'll start at the 25 as McKinnon decides against returning it. The Charger drive about to get going. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that leads you into bigger errors.
So a nightmare start to the drive as they're already staring at 2nd and long. Justin Herbert looking to pass. He'll get this over the middle here to Palmer.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And Eckler will not get there. Great defense at the point of attack, going to stop him short of the first down. You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Herbert going to keep it on his sneak. And boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. But down 2 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to go for it. They must have thought they had a play to dial up that they could get it. It didn't work out.
They must have thought, as you pointed out, they had a play, and they were probably looking at the number of possessions that they thought were left in the game. And down 2 scores, they must have felt like they couldn't risk not taking a shot here and giving up that chance.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Second down, here's Mostert again. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Here's Fields. He completes it to Jones. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. Fields. He'll find Jones again, complete. And the Dolphins are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
And these two hooked up on a nice gain to play before, and I always admire play callers that see a play that works and go right back to it, so they went right back to him. The reward, they're set up with 1st and goal.
On the handoff, this is Mostert. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances, so they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. One more time with Mostert. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's third down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Third and goal, the ball at the 10. A good run that time. They couldn't close him down, and now 9 yards makes for a very different situation on 4th and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. So taking a risk here early in the new year, they're going to go for it. They'll try it now with Mostert. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Raheem Mostert with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Dolphins are looking good here. The season openers are able to extend their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And they'll start at the 25 as McKinnon decides against returning it. The Charger drive about to get going. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Play action. It's Herbert. That is caught. It's Williams. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Now he's able to break through 1 tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it 1 more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The Chargers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. But just a little too lackadaisical, Charles, and they didn't get up and snap the ball in time.
Delay of game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he understood where the clock was located. In different stadiums, it's in different places. You have to check that in pregame and make sure you're aware so you don't run into penalties like these.
Got his man. It's Williams.
And that was some effort, but it would appear that he's going to come up about a yard short.
Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Fourth down for Herbert. Desperation time.
And Allen's got it.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
So the drive will indeed continue. First and 10 at the 35-yard line. Herbert. And that is incomplete. Well, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 99 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the season opener.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. First and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. It's Williams on the catch. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
Meanwhile, Herbert's throw pulled in by Aguilar. And the Chargers are going to have a first and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
Here's Herbert. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. He'll get only 2 there, and it's second and goal.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, short tackle.
Eckler. And he'll get 2 or 3 out of that one as that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's third and goal. Trying to punch it in with Eckler. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And it's a defensive return for a late touchdown. So they still need somewhat of a miracle here, but at least that gets them a little bit closer. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked out officially at the 21. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field. It took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Fields. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. That's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Fields. Man open, here is Jones. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Well, they only needed a small gain on 3rd down. They end up getting over 30 yards. Offense just continues to reign supreme. Big plays, both sides, back and forth. Tough to keep track of.
It certainly is, and I'm over here just marveling at what I'm seeing. It's tough for you, though.
Looking for Waddle, but it's intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Jackson. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. Now with that interception, you feel like we've got a ball game again. Remember, 2-score contest and still time left here in the 4th.
And in the old days, not too long gone either. Throwing the ball here would have been an absolute no-no, but the way the game's played now, throwing it makes sense. You just have to be careful when you put it in the air.
Herbert. He's got it complete to Aguilar. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Now Herbert to the goal line, but it's incomplete. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. They hand it off to Mostert. And some room to maneuver. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. That good for 19 and a first down.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, about that. A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll stay on the ground with Mostert. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Here's Mostert. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to. The impressiveness of his performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
And they'll start at the 25 as McKinnon decides against returning it.
One last throw here for Herbert.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
And let's face it, this defense has had its share of struggles all game long, and they know that they can put it all behind them if they defend well here in the 2-minute drill. Excellent coverage right there to force the incompletion.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
It's Tariq Castro-Fields who picked it.
And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown.
So a fourth quarter pick six here, and that one might put this game out of reach, CD.
I certainly agree with that, partner, and I know one thing, though. That team that just got the pick six, they're going to keep playing until this one's over. Better be careful. They're looking to get another one.
Well, CD, always a little extra excitement for week one, and one of our early window games here in week one on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. And we know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right? Half the league is going to have a loss on their record. But everyone's got to build off of that opener. And how many coaches tell us every single year, you make your most progress between week 1 and week 2. We'll see how both of these teams progress the rest of this season.
So for the Dolphins, that'll be a happy locker room as they start the season 1-0. And they'll get another home date next week as the Jaguars will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers.